AUTOPILOT IoT concept will allow deployment of innovative mobility services using mobile network.
Yeah, thank you for this very exciting question, because it reflects the market we've seen in the last years. And if you take 75 billion IoT devices, which are forecasted in 25 to be worldwide available, you can imagine that probably 10% of them, they have a SIM card. We have now roughly 5 to 6 billion SIM cards, which is a huge market share for mobile network operators. And for us, this concept AUTOPILOT developed the last 3 years as telecom operator in international scale is very, very important in the regard that this IoT-driven data markets connected to platforms where our T-Systems portfolio is deeply involved in many worldwide telematic backends and business with automotive, is considered by our management as a really pioneering service concept. So what we did together with the very interesting partner networks of AUTOPILOT is focusing on the services, on the go-to-market strategies behind the services, standardizing the platforms and the IT protocols, and also the business behind it, and found out that the next 3 to 5 years the market for automated driving and services around it, especially in public transport and shuttles, is supposed to become as big as it is necessary for telecom operators. We have figures, estimations like 2 to 3 billion euro revenue in this market per year. So I think that shows why telecom and T-Systems are very interested in all the results which were worked out in this very successful project.
What was the implication of Continental in AUTOPILOT, and what benefits did it bring to the company?
Thank you for your questions. In fact, we participated in 2 of the 5 test sites of the program. And this was in Livorno, in Italy, and in Versailles, in France. And in Livorno, it was a use case for motorway. So we had IoT sensing, stating if there was water on the road or not. And there was also they were sensing if there were roadworks. All these collected information were sent to the cloud of the project, to the IoT platform, and then were sent back to the vehicles. Then in Versailles it was a little different. The subject was to find a place to park. You know that in the program there is, in Versailles, we are moving platoons and trying to park them. So parking is a critical issue. And you need places, a lot of places, or free places. So what we were doing, you had vehicles sensing if there were free places, and if this was the case, they were informing the people in charge of parking that this was okay. So what we did also in the program was to work on the legal issues of the program, because autonomous driving is something where legal issues are very critical. So this is something in our team. We have people working on legal issues, we have people working on privacy issues, which are very close, and also to cybersecurity. And the main benefit for us was to test part of our services we are developing, because our specialty is to develop services based on crowdsources information from cars. Thank you.
What European vision or policy for IoT?
So AUTOPILOT was a pilot as part of the 5 IoT pilots in the area of connected and automated driving. We see that with IoT it changes the business models, it changes the way products are designed in the future, and it will transform the society. So the car basically will become a connected thing in the future, and what AUTOPILOT achieved is to connect sensors in the street, to connect to traffic lights, and to have more data from the road to the driver, to the comfort of the driver. So how we see that in the future, we know that on the one hand we need the interoperability between platforms and objects and cars, but we also see that the car as a sensor produces a lot of data. So what we need for the future, we need an architecture like AUTOPILOT, which is fit for the future, also driving the future data economy in the automotive market.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What important contribution AUTOPILOT made to the global IoT vision and deployment in Europe?
AUTOPILOT, it's a unique project. So actually it's the first large-scale pilot that address IoT technologies and applications for enhancing the automated functions in the automotive industry for level 3, 4 and 5. What is interesting in AUTOPILOT, it's the approach that was taken for interoperability of IoT platforms, using a federated approach that combines different platforms, in this case 8 platforms from different providers. In addition, AUTOPILOT has contributed to standardization, and here I would mention contribution to the 3D IoT architecture, a new concept for addressing the IoT application for autonomous systems, and as well to mapping IoT and automated use cases to this architecture, and addressing the use cases for the new technology for communication, 5G and beyond. And not the last but not least is the contribution to addressing the new trend in data sharing and the use of data lakes, IoT platforms and data marketplaces for sharing data between applications in different sectors like energy, mobility and smart cities.
AUTOPILOT shown capabilities of IoT technologies to improve mobility with the deployment of new services and the efficient platform-based concept to share mobility-relevant data.
So what AUTOPILOT did, it took concepts of services that already exist and enriched them with the IoT ecosystem by deploying platforms based on standards from relevant standards organizations such as 1M2M, for example. They were able to gather data and enrich the services with real-time capabilities, combining with other data sources in order to build up services that are going across the different pre-existing services models. What we also expected that with these results, we're going to take them to the next level within the next framework program of the Commission, and most notably within the Digital Euro program, where we have a project on deploying this kind of solutions, such as mobility as a service, on our large scale within Europe, based on platforms which will be shared within the cities with other sectors such as energy, etc. But they will be based on the same principle and interfaces that have been developed here within AUTOPILOT. And therefore we are very happy to propose this to the citizens of Europe and for their usage on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How the ethical partnership contributed to create breakthrough in automotive with AUTOPILOT?
Yeah, actually, the AUTOPILOT project provided all ethical partners a unique opportunity to develop innovative applications for automated mobility using Internet of Things. The IoT architecture, and especially the standardized device management layers, allow all stakeholders to collect, share and use data from a wide range of sensor type for enhancing driving environment perception. This is the most important aspect of progressing automated driving. But from the safety point of view, also offer specific means to detect vulnerable road users and other type of road hazards. For instance, the vehicle manufacturer partner acknowledge the capability of IoT platform to collect and in particular control the access to data and the quality of data to take decision from the automated driving application with safety critical applications. Automotive supplier prove the suitability of IoT architecture for seamless integration of connected and automated driving feature in the vehicle as well as in the cloud for high-definition maps. More globally, AUTOPILOT partner demonstrated the unique capability of IoT to federate diverse mobility data platform to contribute to a global mobility as a service deployment.